Hi everyone. We're going to be working on the Wizard rocket. So let's go ahead and cut open our bag with your scissors. Now the Wizard rocket should be a lot like the Viking rocket. There'll be links for you to look at that rocket build in the video, in the links below. The main difference is how the fins work, and we'll get to that when the time comes. First off, as with everything else, you have right here your list of supplies. Scissors, pencil, regular pencil or mechanical pencil, yeah, ruler, sandpaper. I got a whole sheet, but here's a little piece for me to use. Carpenter's glue. Tape, clear tape. You might need masking tape for the fin if you don't need it. However, I have not needed that yet. It says plastic cement. I will be using my little tube of super glue instead of plastic cement. Whatever you feel comfortable with, or whatever materials you have handy. Alright. Next, we go over the parts. You have your body tube. You have your nose cone. Once again, you have your yellow spacer tube for spacing the engine mount. Then you have this bag right here. You need to be very careful because in this bag contains your balsa wood fins. That's why this is a little bit harder than the Viking. Be very careful with these. Right here. This is very thin wood. It does not glue back easily or straight. So you have to be careful with that. Everything else is the same. You got streamer. You got your green, what do they call this? Your green engine block, your nose cone insert, your shock cord, your launching lug. Alright, now here, on this one, you have your two cutouts. So we'll cut them out once we get to it. Alright, so step one. Glue the nose cone cap to the nose cone. This should be the only part that you need your rubber cement or whatever you're going to need to use. Just glue that together. Alright, super glue, that'll hold tight. Alright, and then you can fit it. Right now, mine's a little loose, so what to do to fix that is that you put a little bit of masking tape around it and it should hold it in. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay? Now, I do it on the other end, it still falls off. Alright. So the next thing that it says to do is to sand your fins. So, get your little piece of sanding paper. Don't go too hard, you don't want to break it. Just sand them smooth as much as you can. Alright. Then you carefully, they're already perforated, so just carefully pull them out of the outside and throw those extra pieces to the side because you're not going to need them. Then you can place all of your fins, your 3 fins together in one group as you sand the edges. Because you see there's these little bumps on there. You just want to make these as smooth as possible. Don't press too hard. You don't want to break the wood. Alright, doesn't take much, depending on the sandpaper that you use, to smooth out these edges. Alright. Now, it says to cut out your tube marking guide, which is right here. Owen? Alright. So you have this. And what you're going to do is that you're going to take your model tube, your body tube, get a small piece of tape ready. And just tape it together. Just mark on both sides. The FLs, that's the fin. The LL, which is the launching lug. FL is fin line. And then take it off. Now, the instructions say to put this inside of a door frame once again to draw your lines down the tube. If you're careful enough, you can just do it with your ruler. Hold it steady and draw the line down your tube. No, you don't have to go the whole length, but just Just get that. Alright. So the next step is it says to draw a line 3/8 of an inch up on the bottom. So what I do, just draw a line, turn it a little bit, draw a line, turn a little bit, draw a line. There you go. And then on the launching lug line, you want to draw another line 2 inches up on the line. Okay. So the next thing to do is that we're going to start to apply the fins. Now, you should only install the fins one way on this rocket, unlike the Alpha 3 or the Viking. So on each one, go ahead and put a little bit of glue on there, rub it down, let that dry for a minute. Alright. Now, when you go, we are going to apply a second line of glue on the tail fins and apply them to the tube. So, here we go.
Okay.
And you'll want to apply these on every line with the bottom of the fin on that 3/8 mark. That's why we put it there. Then hold that until it sets on its own. Hold it about 30 seconds to a minute. Till it stays on its own. And then get your next one ready. Now the reason why you applied that first thin layer is because you are using wood, and wood will absorb the glue inside of it. So you apply that first layer, and that allows the wood to absorb in some of the glue. And then you put a second line in there so it has some glue that will adhere to the cardboard. Applying the second tail fin and holding it so it will set. Alright, that's pretty good. And the last and final one. So once again, you apply the bottom of it on that first 3/8 line that you drew on your FL lines, your fin lines. Then once it's set, there you go. All right, the next step, we can set that aside and let it dry a little bit. Now, another important key feature. If you need to, you might need to, on your fin line, jig that you cut out and you rolled up and taped, you can find it. You can unroll this so you can see the next set of instructions. Because you don't need them anymore. Alright, so spacer. Once again, it's not up to par, but a 1/4 inch up the tube, you need to draw a line. A couple places around. Because this is going to put the engine block in there so the engine doesn't go up your rocket tube. Okay? I threw away my craft stick from last time, but I'm going to make another one to put the glue in. So if you have some long toothpicks or a long piece of wood or even a plastic straw, something that you can reach down the tube and put some glue on the inside. Alright. So with this craft stick, I'm just cutting off part of it. I'm going to measure 2 inches. Because we need to apply glue 2 inches from the bottom. So I'm going to put a glob of glue on the end of this craft stick. Then I'm going to insert it to my 2-inch mark. Rub it around. You can look in there and see if you got a nice circle of glue. And if you want to, just go again. You want to make sure you have enough glue here. Alright, that's done. So after you do that, you take your engine block, put it down here, then you use your spacer tube and you press it in until you're at your 1/4 inch mark. Then you hold the spot where your engine block is and pull this back out, because you do not want that to glue in. If you do, you can't put an engine in there. Alright, now if you put your glue in there right, set that to the side and let it dry. Alright, so you put the 2-inch mark on your launching lug line earlier. Your launching lug. With your craft stick or your glue bottle, whatever you're using, put some glue on your launching line, one line, and then place that on the rocket on your launching lug line, starting at that 2-inch mark, and just hold it there. Just like that. That's simple. Alright, next we are working on your shock cord. So you have to go to the front page again and cut out this little section here. This is your shock cord mount that has 3, 2, 1 and dotted lines on there. Alright, so do this properly. You're going to, the shot cord is going to set from 3 to 2. This way. Not from 1 to 2, from 3 to 2. So we're going to place a little dab of glue, a little glob of glue on 2. Use your craft stick. Spread that out a little bit if you can. Okay. Put your shot cord on there, and then you fold the 1 on the dotted line over onto the 2, and then you hold it down. Don't be afraid of getting some glue on your fingers. If any glue squirts out, go ahead, take your craft stick and rub that onto number 3, because you're going to need more glue onto number 3 now. It's okay to get the glue on the shot cord. Spread it around, get it on the other side. Okay. And then you fold that on the next dotted line over onto number 3. And then you hold this. This is strong enough to hold the nose cone that will open up the streamer and allow your rocket to fall back down to earth nice and safely for as many relaunches as you can. Alright. So next, about 1.5 inches down. So, I'm going to take I marked about 1/2 inch down from the 2-inch mark that I put on here previously. Ooh, rockets are falling over, just like London Bridge. All right, we're going to place this in. Inch and a half down, and then hold it there. So put a glob of glue and you want to install this with the folded end down. Do your best to get it in about 1.5 inches. Then stick your finger in there and hold it to the tube. Press it down, hold that for about 30 seconds to a minute. Alright. So next, you know this should be thoroughly dry now. Tie your shot cord to the nose cone cap. Put a double knot on there. You don't want this coming off. Okay. So the final step that we have is that we're going to attach the streamer. So you get a piece of tape, try to make it about as long as the streamer itself. And you tape that on there. Try to get it straight if you can. That can be a tricky part. Now if you want to, you might want to fold that over and just put another little piece of tape there. Didn't do that on the Viking rocket, but I'm trying this out. Alright. So the next thing, you fold this into thirds. Towards the cord. And then from here, you do your best to roll it up. Okay. Now you want to hold that tight because now you got to push this zip cord down into the rocket tube. This can be the tricky part. Find however it works for you the best. See, it might be because once you get it started, sometimes the cord just easily goes in. And there you go. At this point, if you're going to spray paint it different colors, you can spray paint it different colors. And then you can cut out your decals and put them on your rocket however you deem necessary. You can follow the instructions or not. We will be putting in the engine wads and the engines at the time of the launch, so you do not have to worry about that at this time, unless you want to go out and launch them yourselves if you have the capabilities and the tools to do so. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks so much.